When it comes to uh, Chemio's data entry, there are a few specific things or limitations of the application that you always have to observe when entering data for some specific sections or some specific fields. So today I'm going to show you all of those specific data entry points inside of the application, and you will be able to see which of those specific rules you have to observe to be able to enter all of this data within Chemius effectively. So the first very important thing when it comes to data entry happens within the material composer. And within the material composer, you basically assign substances to a specific product, and each substance then has two very distinct fields associated with it. There is the content percentage and the range percentage. So what's the main difference between those two fields? The first field, constant percentage, is basically a distinct numerical value that is always used for the calculation of the hazard classes within the Chemius application. So if I reduce the content of, let's say, xylene from 14 to 1%, we will see that the proposed classification changes, and that's because the uh, application works in such a way that all of the calculations always come from the data which is entered within the content percentage field. Meanwhile, the other field, range percentage, is intended for the display when it comes to documentation itself. So on the safety data sheets, what is written in the range percentage would be displayed. If there is a same value for both of those fields, you can basically enter the same value and the same thing would get displayed. But if you enter a range percentage, which is allowed for safety data sheets, then you basically have to enter the highest possible content percentage based on this range percentage, because within the scope of the regulations, you are always legally required to list the highest possible concentration when making calculations out of this um, um, data. So just keep in mind that range percentage is what gets displayed and content percentage is what's taken into consideration when the application makes the calculations. The second thing that is incredibly crucial when entering data are the numerical fields within the application, and those numerical fields follow the same logic throughout the whole application. So each time you encounter a field where a numerical value can be entered, you have to observe those specific rules that are applicable for this field. And when you are searching for specific parameters in the section 3, or within the product editor, or within the section 9 of the safety datasheet editor, there are so many parameters present. And if you want to find a specific parameter, let's say that we are interested in the pH value for our product, we can also enter the keyword of the parameter that we are searching for within this search parameters field. So in our case, I just entered pH, and then we can enter the value of the pH for our product. So the first way to enter data is to simply enter a singular number. The second way to enter data is by using a dash to display a range. The third option is to enter lower than or higher than some specific value. You can do higher than or lower than 1, and this is also acceptable. And the fourth option to enter a numerical field value is to enter CA, which means approximately, and those are those curvy equals which are present in the documentation sometimes. So you always basically have to choose one of those four ways of entering data for numerical fields. But if you want to enter some other way which is not supported by our application, you will get a red surrounding of this field, and it says that it doesn't match our pre-existing pattern for those specific fields. And the same logic applies to absolutely every single numerical field within the application.